In scripture, Job in particular, Satan is seen going to and fro, seeking whom he may devour. And it's funny because we always hear the discussion about why is Satan in heaven. What is Satan doing walking in God's chambers? But again, if we're talking heaven, we're talking the mind, we're talking our spiritual inner thought world, right? The Garden of Eden, right? We're talking that place that we were given to cultivate and to care for, right? So, and there was one tree in that garden, the knowledge of good and evil, right? Why would one who knows all good have any desire to know of evil? Why would one who knows all things that truly exist, because all things that were truly created and truly exist are good? Evil is the absence of good. So if all things that were created and that exist are good, and evil is the absence of good, then evil is nothing at all. But you know, you were given the ability to call things what you want, make things what you like. You were given the ability to create, to form things in the dust and breathe the breath of life into them, right? So when you entertain things like evil, even though they're nothing, if you decide that it's something and you form what it is, that it is, and you breathe life into it, then you must enjoy or suffer the secondary consequence of your creation and the extension of the life within you to what you wanted or either didn't want, right? But we see Satan going to and fro, seeking whom he can devour, and then he walks slap into heaven. And that messes with us, because for us, heaven is this place that you go after you die that only the good people go. And the people who were mean and nasty, they never would get to go there. So remember that they go into hell, and hell is for Satan and all the bad people. But now in this Bible picture, we got Satan walking in heaven. And I think the misinterpretation of pictures like this, I think it helps. I think it helps fuel this idea inside of the Christian world that I'm doing it right, I'm getting it right, I mess up some of the time, but I'm living by the law. I'm living by your word, God. I ask for your forgiveness every time I drop the ball. Sometimes I drop it again, other times I get it right. But I know I'm not perfect, but when I get to them gates, even though I thought it was based on my performance the whole time, I'm still depending on the goodness of your heart to say, you got it right enough for me to let you in. That's tough, because inside the scripture somewhere it says that one that lives by the law must live by the whole law, or it's like he followed none of it. That should be scary enough, because stop playing. It's an impossible task. So being that my perfection can't be built on my performance, my perfection must be built on my design. I have to lean heavily on the knowledge of my design so that I can operate in accordance with my design and live a perfect experience. Because if my design is perfect, it's not that I can be perfect by performance. I can align and live in accordance with my perfect design, and my systems will flow. Satan walking in and out of here. He's seeking to and fro whom he can devour, walking in and out of heaven. And we got the whole steps picture in our head. So he go to heaven, right? Funny how On earth, he's seeking whom he can devour. In heaven, he's asking questions. That's what sticks out to me, right? No power in heaven. No power on earth except the power that heaven extends for when the attack comes on earth. I'm gonna break it down. I know it's messed up. I ain't do a real good job with that. But here, look, check this out, because it's cool. Satan comes to heaven. Heaven, the mind, the accuser, attacks the mind. Who is it? Is it an opposition, an enemy somewhere else? No. It's my expired paradigms. It's my misconceptions. It's the things that I believe in place of what truly is. It's my definitions, my interpretations, my obsessions, my desires, my cravings, my opposites, all of that. The mind. Satan enters the mind seeking who he can, the mind to get permission for things that can be altered on the earth, right? The Bible, right? James 4:7, right? Submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Submit, understand. Stand under. I am not the creator of all things. I am not the sustainer of all things. But in my experience, in my physical expression, I am. Because I am is within me, giving me the same power that the character inside of the narrative of the Christian story had. Just like the character in the Christian story said. The same spirit which is within me has been given to you, and greater works shall you do. So, I am the creator of all things in my experience. Just like you are the creator of all things in your experience, and everyone else is the creator and author of sustainer in their experience. I messed it up here. Y'all know what I meant. So, the same source and power that gives me the ability and authority to be that for myself gives you that for yourself. We all have the same source. We all have the same God. There is but one God. Many expressions, many creations, many children, but one source that gives all equally, freely, wholly, abundantly, joyously, unbiasedly. Not based on merit. Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, every other religious group in the world, upholding a code to be suitable and pleasable in the sight of a father, a good father, knowing a good father would love even a terrible son. I've seen it in the physical and in the spiritual. Shout out to Pop. We say that if we backslide or spend our life running, then time just may expire and we may find ourselves forever shut outside of the Father's house. But look at the return of the lost son. My man's wanted his inheritance early. He wanted it right then. He got it because it's a father's heart to fulfill the son's heart's desires. He gives it to him. The son squanders it, wastes it, end up living in a pigsty. Comes to himself one day, scriptures say. And remembers that even his father's servants, the lowest of the servants, lived better than he living. He could go back to the father's house and work. He could go back to the father's house and serve. He set out on his journey to go back and apologize to Pops and ask Pops for a chance to work, to stay at the house. On his way, Pops see him. And back then, man, I don't know if you're aware of the cultural times that this story was told in. But the cultural times that the story was told in, it was given extra significance of how the father felt about the son's return, because it says that the father ran. He had perched himself up high in the city, so he'd be able to see far out if his son was coming. And when he saw him, he ran out to meet him, hugged him, embraced him, kissed him, came back and threw him a party. At the party, the older brother who hadn't left, he get mad. You never done a party for me. So he leave. Ain't it funny that he was at a party where he had everything to enjoy, but he left the party to go pout because his name wasn't on the sign on the door, or the cake didn't say his name. The invitation didn't have his picture on it. So even though he could have partied and enjoyed himself just like the other brother, he missed out and he left. And the same father who just hunted down one boy goes out and hunts down the other.